Joanna, hey, congratulations on your new film, Uppercut.
Thank you. Thank you.
Some of us love these type of stories. They're dramatic, they're inspirational in their own ways. But let's always ask that obligatory question. What initially drew you that you wanted to be part of Uppercut?
There are a couple of reasons, and I'm glad you asked that. Number one, I had a friend of mine who, Carrie White was her name, who wrote a book called Uppercut. It had nothing to do with boxing. It was about her turnaround, becoming a sober person, et cetera, et cetera. But she was a very famous hairdresser. I knew her for a million years. And I said to myself, when that script came to me, I went, and Carrie, and she died, by the way. So
Hmm.
I thought to myself, here's a movie that's coming to me that's called Uppercut. How fortuitous is that? I mean, isn't that interesting in the scheme of, how things kind of cross their paths? Um, I used to box. Not professionally, but I trained for 2 years with a lightweight champion. Can't think of Terry's last name, but I always loved the boxing ring and the energy in it. And I just thought, well, how cool! I mean, this Torsten Ruther is asking me to come on board as a woman to be in the ring. Usually, it's a guy's place.
Yeah.
Um, but I thought that's fabulous. I'm doing it.
So you didn't have to research for the role so much because of the fact that you're already familiar. So tell us on how did you get into the role of being in this case a cornerman or your case corner woman.
Yeah. Um, well, that's what Torsten always had in mind was to have that, obviously, to have the team put together, for the boxer. And it was very fortunate. We all met through friends in Germany. We have mutual friends. And so I was there for the Oldenburg Film Festival a couple of years ago, and I met Torsten Ruther and Louis, and we talked it through, and they said, you know what? let's let's offer this role to Joanna. Let's offer it to a woman instead of a guy, and I read it like that, and I said, "Oh, I'm doing this. So this is a fabulous speech." He rewrote everything, obviously, for me to talk about sort of like being a granny, in a sense, but still, what I loved was being a grandmother, but a, a person that's just still out there working and digging life and being engaged and being energized by everything that's going on. And she's a winner and she wants people to win around her. And I love that whole aspect of it.
That is a terrific speech, by the way, in the film that you put yourself in the spotlight.
Oh,
Now, you usually play like supporting characters, as like here with Rita, the corner woman. When you get a script like this, do you create more of a background for your character to flesh things out for the character?
well, first of all, I don't have to be the lead in a movie. That is not my goal necessarily, although that would certainly work for me. I love those characters that come in and kind of turn the switch a little bit. Um, I No part is a small part. That's my philosophy. Everything, that you're engaged in, being a part of a group that can bring the magic to a project. And so that's what I do. I can't say that I do unless it's something I've never played before or I've never done before, but because I've done a lot of things in my life. I mean, I've had a multitude of careers in a way, being a photographer and a writer and an antique person and a roller skater I've done a lot of things, so I have that experience under my belt, and all I can do is pump it up. I just pump up the volume, reading about it or doing it again or practicing whatever it takes.
No, and you do it well. So what was that experience being in the corner of a boxing ring since you have been in boxing rings before? What was the filming like for you?
Yeah, well, I've been in a lot of gyms, and that's where you really find out, you know, who the real guys are. Because in training with this boxer, I'd stay for the day because I wanted to be really good. Um, so I watched them engaged, and I stood there, and because I wasn't competing with an audience, I was able to get right in and see a real boxing match taking place. I hear the sounds of boxing, the grunts and the taking the punches, and so there's all that goes into part of my memory for being in a film like this, because I have to bring that. Although we had an audience, but it's not the same as a real game.
Hmm.
So that was a big part of my amygdala, when I went in to do the job. And because it was so last minute, I had to have it. I had to
Hmm.
have it fast.
Now, I spoke to Jordan that you have a lot of scenes with, and he calls you iconic. So, what was it like working with Jordan in these scenes?
Oh, well, he's a young, feisty actor, and I mean, I guess to him, I was kind of iconic. We had, you know, we had to step up on the stage and do this. Well, he was adorable, and he still was able to separate the Jordan from, the boxer and who he really is in real life. And even though he thought of me as iconic, and I knew that, it was very obvious that he looked up to me and respected me and was a little scared of me. But uh, he just got right in there and went with it.
Well, you are indeed iconic because, with almost I I don't know how many projects that we could count. It's like almost 200 different projects, and you yourself been in so many iconic films, such as, like Blade Runner and Who Framed Roger Rabbit. I mean, how do you look back to a lot of these, iconic projects and these scenes that you helped made these movies?
I'll be honest with you, I don't look back enough. And as a person, I was just talking about this to somebody, and I said, you know what? Oh, I have my cats here too. Oh, look at your baby. Is that a part Siamese?
No, 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 it's just the right.
Oh, so yeah, I don't smell the roses enough. It's pretty cool when people call me iconic, and I'm just a girl from New Jersey.
I mean, like one of the things that I wanted to remark was the fact that you did don't tell mom the babysitter's dead, and you got invited back, and that was a surprise scene. I mean, that's how people remember
Yep.
your scenes in these type of films.
I know. Isn't that well, it was so cool. It was so totally cool that they asked me to come back and do that little cameo. I love it. That was really one of my favorite films. I that character just delighted me the entire time I was doing it, and Rose was so much fun, and I loved it. And I loved my little red wig, and I still have it.
Well, whatever you do, you keep on doing it, Joanna. Even though you're not smelling the roses, the rest of us remember the roses that you
Oh,
planted along the way
well,
on your
thank
journey. So, Joanna, Thank you very much
Thank you,
for
my dear.
speaking to me.
Thank you, Gig. You take
Thank
care.
you.
Thank you.